Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. The big, beautiful bill has been passed, and not only is that what Trump wanted to do, it's probably going to push the markets higher. The liquidity will probably come in. People will probably spend that money that they are saving into the markets, and we can probably see a Bitcoin maybe hit 150,000. XRP probably hit our targets of $10. Because of this big beautiful bill. But let me just explain to you what that big beautiful bill is before we go any further. And also, before we go any further, please do not buy or sell based on anything I'm saying. I'm not a financial advisor. This is my thoughts and opinions only, and I'm not giving you any investment advice. So the one big beautiful bill passes. What is it? A sweeping tax and spending law signed by former President Donald Trump on July the 4th, 2025, at a campaign-style rally in Houston framed as America First Economic Reset, dubbed the One Big Beautiful Bill. It locks in Trump's 2017 tax cuts and expands credits for tips, overtime, child, education, and adoption, and delivers a 1% remittance tax. The bill passed through Congress via budget reconsolidation process, crucial for bypassing the Senate's filibuster. Remember, I'm going to get into the charts as well in a second, just to give you my quick thoughts on XRP and Bitcoin and how they can hit their targets as well. If you do enjoy these videos, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm reading this from a newsletter that goes out every single day, the best newsletter out there in my opinion. The link for that is the first link in the description. Do consider signing up for it. So, the Senate approved the final version with a 51-50 vote, with Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote after a marathon amendment session. It was a long session. It was a tie-break with the Vice President giving the final vote in approval. The House then followed with a narrow 218 to 214 vote, secured by an intense leadership negotiation and overcoming two GOP defections, two Republican deflections. This legislative victory marks a significant moment in President Trump's second-term agenda, consolidating his influence with the Republican Party structure. What are the main changes? Well, what we've got going on here is taxes. One of them is taxes. 2017 Trump tax cuts made permanent. No federal tax on tips or overtime under 150,000. Child tax credit doubled and SALT cap raised. Spending, 175 billion for border security, 160 billion increase for defense, deep Medicaid cuts, stricter SNAP work requirements, clean energy tax credits eliminated. Other tax, no tax on social security, expanded education and adoption credits, 1% remittance tax, student loan subsidies rolled back. So who gains, who risks losing? Gains, wage earnings, families, retirees, and defense and border sectors. Risks, low-income Americans, Medicaid cuts, SNAP recipients, clean energy firms, state budgets, and hospitals bracing for a rise in uninsured. So why it matters. The One Big Beautiful Bill marks a pivotal shift in the US fiscal policy and wide-reaching sector impacts. Permanent tax cuts and exemptions for tips, overtime, and social security could lift disposable income, support consumer sectors, and benefit service-heavy employers. Defense contractors are likely to be the winners amid a $160 billion military boost, but Medicaid cuts and the rollback of clean energy incentives threaten hospital balance sheets and renewable project pipelines. States may widen budget gaps as federal support shrinks. With deficits projected to surge by 3 to 5 trillion, Treasury yields could rise, steepening the curve and pressuring credit-sensitive equities. Markets may rotate out of these sensitive growth sectors into defense, consumer cyclicals, and near-term stimulus plays. This bill isn't just about tax cuts or spending lines, it's a structural sign. When government policy leans hard into defence and consumption while pulling back on healthcare and energy transition, capital doesn't follow, it reprices. Investors should be thinking less about what rallied today and more about what's funding stress, physical direction, and sector reallocations mean over the next 6 quarters. Watch the curve, watch the coverage ratios, and stay nimble when subsidy floor just vanished. They are basically printing money again, another 3 to 5 trillion added to the deficit. That money is potentially going into wage earners, maybe not the low income Americans, but maybe some higher income Americans that are not classed as the low income Americans because of the Medicaid cuts. That's probably not going to affect them very well, but slightly higher earners will probably have more money to spend. That money could probably be deployed into the markets, increasing liquidity. XRP, for example, is at $2.30, awaiting a decision from the SEC. That decision is coming soon, in my opinion. There'll be a video at the end of this that you should go watch, where I give you my opinions on when the SEC is dropping that appeal. But in theory, that appeal drop should take XRP past $2.30 and potentially over to $2.62 and way beyond if Bitcoin hits its targets. Bitcoin is currently sat at $108,000. It had its highest weekly candle close, and we've got a bull flag possibly targeting 115,000, 127, and the main bull flag target is 150,000. That can all be fueled by some liquidity coming out of this big, beautiful bill. So keep an eye out for that, and that can also definitely fuel the S&P 500 going further as well. But not only do we have the big beautiful bill story, I've also got one on tariffs, which could not this one. There's many stories in today's newsletter. First link in the description. But I'll tell you about tariffs in a later video. If you did enjoy the video, quick update on the big beautiful bill. We'll be covering it more in depth on the show. We're live all the time. 2 videos up here. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.